Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's session where you learn on how to charter business growth in cybersecurity service market in 2023. My name is Fiona, and I head the USA partnerships here at SharkStriker.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our webinar. It's a pleasure to have everyone here with us today. I am Palak and I look into the EMEA partnership division of SharkStriker.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so very much for joining today. My name is Prabha, and I take care of the complete APAC region. So to start today's discussion, I would like to share a thought with our audience. So, as I'm very much sure that everyone is aware that there is a lot of buzz about security service in the market at the moment. So the whole cybersecurity ecosystem is changing so fast. The cyber attackers are becoming more and more sophisticated each and every day. So now we see that as security is not a plug and play thing anymore. So just having a security solution is not enough to handle the situation.
I agree, Prabha. It's high time now the resellers and MSP to evolve with the market expectations.
Exactly. That's how we came up with the idea for this webinar. Today's webinar is about the emerging need for security services and how it can help MSPs and resellers to diversify their business. Without any further ado, let's begin today's session.
All right, great. So let's talk about a little bit about the market scenario with the help of some stats. It is found that globally, the number of breaches per day is 2,200, that is 39 breach per second.
Oh, well, yes, absolutely, Palak. You have brought up a great figure. So I have also came across a report recently where it was mentioned that each day proves to be costly affair for companies. So cyber crimes are predicted to cost at least $8 trillion by the end of 2023. And this is a huge number.
Cyber threats of all kinds are going to continue to grow in number, severity, and complexity. Companies need to transition from the general risk awareness to proactive and preventive actions. The market scope for cybersecurity is estimated to be $266 billion by 2027.
These numbers are astounding. So since we are predicting about the future and we are coming up with the numbers, let me give a walk you through a bit of the history about how security has evolved over the years and the direction to which it is moving. Starting first with secure. In the early days, we saw people implementing physical security where they used to lock the racks, server rooms, etc., with the help of access control. They made sure that the authorized personnel are allowed to enter server rooms and data centers. We then started to harden the systems as per some specific standards. Later came in the antivirus and anti-malware, followed by the patch management. This was the era when Microsoft first started rolling out patches to the reported bugs for the patch management team to ensure that the patches are applied to all the machines in the organization. And that was something the auditors used to check during the compliance audits. This was the time where the need for securing IT had started. Soon after, organizations realized that just securing is not enough. We need to defend our organization too. And thus, people started deploying firewalls and WAFs for securing the perimeter of the organization. This helped in allowing some specific traffic and blocking the unwanted ones. Simultaneously, organizations implemented identity access and management to ensure that resources are accessible only on need-to-know basis. But the problem with this approach was we either block or allow connections. It does not ensure that malicious traffic is blocked every time. WAF, at some extent, can block few attacks, but again, the attackers are smart enough to fabricate the requests and bypass this protection. Also, what if someone from inside, maybe my LAN, is trying a malicious attack? So with this issue, we started containment. We created zones keeping servers and critical assets in DMZ while users in LAN. Basically, we segmented our network. We also implemented application control like blocking P2P apps like uTorrent and BitTorrent. Now, with all these, too many solutions started evolving. Now, there was a need for monitoring and log aggregation. So, if we monitored and aggregated the logs, incident response was required to take response based on the activity monitored. Also, people started running scanners to scan the vulnerabilities. Even with all such solutions in place, did you know average dwell time before a company detects a threat or a breach is around 170 days. The typical threat hunting that was being carried out was just IOC based. And because of this, the InfoSec teams have leveled up their game from what has happening to what has happened to what is happening. This helps in identification of threat a bit more quickly, but that still allows more damage to the organization. This is where proactive threat hunting comes into the picture. Proactive threat hunting helps in identifying the pre-breach indicators at a very early stage, resulting in a safer environment. To achieve this, you need a team who works 24 cross 7, who has the skills to take necessary actions in case of a breach, who has skills to make sure pre-breach indicators are detected and immediate responses are taken. To get this in place, they need solutions that is where EDR, XDR, NDR, SOAR, etc. comes into play. In order to secure, defend, and contain, you need basic knowledge to define policies. For example, if you're using a WatchGuard firewall, you need the basic knowledge to create a firewall rule. And for those organizations and these kind of roles, the organizations either rely on MSPs or resellers, or they might have an IT staff fulfilling all these organizations. And majority of the organizations are here today. Whereas in order to manage and anticipate, you need professional knowledge and appropriate skills to make necessary judgments and take action. For that, big organizations can set up in-house security team where SMBs rely on MSSPs. This is where the majority of the organizations would like to reach.
Great, Palak. Well, I believe with this brief description, it's clear that now the market is shifting towards cybersecurity as a service.
On that note, I just remembered a case where a customer of a potential partner of mine faced a ransomware attack at 1 in the morning. He had to face immense losses because there was no one available at the time to monitor his infrastructure.
Well, that reminds me of another incident that had happened with one of my partner in Australia, where he told me about his customer who lost a huge project of almost $1 million because his compliance requirements were not met properly. So every company has to achieve certain GRC goals. And we have found that it is very, very tedious and challenging task for them. And that's where they miss out on certain opportunities like that. No?
Definitely. And so these two examples are very relevant, and I'm sure the audiences should also be able to relate to the same. So you can also ask yourself that I want to put this question to the audience: having similar incidents happen to your customers too? Like, what did you do if something happened to your customer and if a ransomware attack happened at 2 a.m. on a week off or on a Sunday? Do you have the incident response plan in place? Do you have an expert team to monitor 24 cross 7? Or do you know about the risk associated with your customers' organizations and the compliance goals? I always say that the security operations across the globe are driven by the compliances. So are you able to help your customers achieve these GRC goals? So yeah, are you able to answer those questions?
Well, I see that if the answer to the above question is no, right? Therein, we have a huge and high time, or I would say there is a very huge requirement wherein one must initiate the transition from reseller MSP by expanding their existing portfolio to become MSSP. That's the important thing currently in the market.
That's a very good point, Prabha. But let's see what makes an MSSP different from an MSP or a reseller, or what is the S in MSSP?
But if we go by definition, an MSP is someone who manages a customer's IT infrastructure, whereas an MSSP is someone who manages the security operation on behalf of the customer.
Well, that reminds me of Fiona's ransomware client, where she mentioned that this attack could have been prevented if his infrastructure was being monitored 24/7 by an expert security team. Having an incident response plan in place could have helped him recover better because the team of responders could have followed a full-fledged incident response life cycle, which is pretty standard in market. And this includes detecting threat, containing it, mitigating, restoring the system to normal, and creating a detailed report to ensure that the attack does not happen due to same mistake again.
Right, and even to yours, compliance related example also, that those losses could also have been prevented if he knew the exact procedures that need to be followed to meet the GRC goals. The compliance management includes creating and implementing different policies and procedures as per the standards pertaining to each industry.
Another important service that an MSSP provides is advanced threat detection and response. So, with this, they don't just rely on indicators of compromise, but they also consider the risk as well as attack indicators. Whenever there's an abnormal behavior detected, the MSP can respond directly to the threat. Having a multi layered security ensures that your cloud assets, your endpoints, and your network is protected. Now that we know the kind of services that an MSSP provides, let's learn how one becomes an MSSP.
So there are usually two ways. Either you can develop whenever we talk about transitioning into an MSSP. So either you can have these services in-house or you can outsource. You can get them outsourced. So there are different pros and cons to both these options.
Oh, well, Palak, yes, you have pulled out a very interesting point here. And I'll start with the in-house option first. Although it sounds like a liberating idea to be self-sufficient, right? And there are some challenges also that you need to know about if you are considering providing the service security by yourself, right? So, cyber threats are becoming more sophisticated and advanced, making it difficult to detect and prevent them. Second thing that I would like to say, because security is not a plug and play thing anymore. So all the organizations need the right set of security resources for managing and monitoring it. But they always face a challenge of finding the right set of cybersecurity professionals, making it difficult for organizations to effectively manage their cybersecurity defense. And if I talk about cybersecurity, can be expensive because the budget part comes in place when you deploy so much of things. And many organizations have limited budget for cybersecurity measures. So that is also another important thing here. Now, like moving to another very trending technology part in the market, new technologies such as Internet of Things, that is IoT, artificial intelligence, introduce new security risks, and that must be addressed, right? And addressing these challenges require a multifaceted approach that includes technology, process, and people. It also requires ongoing investment and adaptation to keep up with the constantly evolving threat landscape.
Wow, this seems like a lot of work. Being self sufficient and all is great, but do MSPs really want to spend all of their time and energy here instead of focusing on growing their businesses? There has to be a better option.
I would say there is, outsourcing, I would say a better and a favorable option and truly my favorite one. I'll tell you why. So starting first, if let's say I take an example, if think of starting a company, I would definitely want to focus on my core business, not in any other thing, because I want to grow my business, I want to scale it. So I want to have more options for the scalability. Then I definitely, if I have this option that I can add new revenue stream without any investment, I would be like very happy and I would just go ahead with right away. Then there's no hiring hassle. I like, again, if I am thinking of starting a company, hiring, recruiting, training, it's a lot of tasks and costs are associated with it. If someone is there who can take care of it on my behalf, I think that's the best option and I would definitely like to go with that option. And with having all these things covered, definitely I'm going to get recurring revenue if I'm able to outsource it, because I have more cross-selling and upselling opportunities now. And the final one is the GTM. I am very much focused being in the sales and marketing and taking care of all these things. I'm all about faster GTM. I just want to hit the market. That's what I keep telling the team as well, though they're not very happy most of the times, because we want things fast, right? So outsourcing is a favorable option because it can reduce the GTM timeline by 35%. So because as a service, if you just transition into an MSSP, you don't have to do anything. That service, that vendor or the outsourcing company is taking care of all these things. That's why I would say it should be a favorable option.
Now that we've spoken all about security services, our different options and everything, let me give you some stats. So, as per research done by Statista, the revenue in the security services segment is projected to reach $136.6 billion by 2032, with an annual growth rate of 4.3%. There was also research done by Gartner, which said that by 2024, more than 90% of buyers will be looking to outsource their security service providers, and they will focus on threat detection and response services. So clearly, the market research said that even though you have two options, there is in-house and there's outsourcing, the market is still leaning a little bit towards outsourcing.
Well, I completely agree with you, Fiona, here because I see the proven facts and figure shows that outsourcing is going to be the preferred option in the coming years. But the question is, who do we outsource it to? Because there are multiple people in the market. You know,
Answer seems very clear, like to a services vendor, right? Because there's less hassle.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, so in the okay, now we have come to the conclusion that because the industry is moving, cybersecurity is moving towards services, and for getting into services, you need to outsource because that also moving towards outsourcing. That should be a favorable option. And now you have to move, you have to find the right service vendor because there are so many in the market. There are so many vendors that available that cater to different needs. Some of these services include, so I've tried to brief it a little bit like that. Like usually for building cybersecurity, there are different type of requirements that you have, like awareness center, as you can see in the screen, the dark web monitoring, pen testing, vulnerability management, IR. All these things are required. So there are different type of vendors. Starting first with the, let's say, SIM as a service. So a vendor which provides managed and hosted SIM along with 24/7 SOC and threat hunting. However, you can see incident response is not included in the service. Then we have MDR, which includes a 24/7 SOC, incident response, threat hunting, but it does not include logging of data on your organization's assets. Third one is, we can say, a SOC as a service provider, a company providing only SOC as a service. So they offer 24/7 SOC that works with your existing solutions and conduct threat hunting based on the received information and capabilities of the existing solution. Finally, there's compliance as a service, which offers end-to-end compliance management and vulnerability assessment, a crucial aspect of the compliance regulations.
I completely understand this, but Pallab, if a customer wants a multi-layered security, he has to purchase at least 7 to 8 licenses for multiple vendors, as per the slide shows, right? This is a lot of hassle for them and isn't a cost effective at all. Right? A perfect vendor would be a one-stop solution to all the customers' cybersecurity need. Isn't it the fact?
True, and that's where SharkStriker comes to your rescue. Let me give you an overview of SharkStriker as a service vendor. We offer comprehensive end-to-end compliance management services that involve reviewing and updating your policies and procedures and implementing necessary controls. Our team conducts pre-audits to ensure that your organization is compliant. We take care of all of the deployment and management of security tools so you can focus on your core business. Our fully hosted and managed SIM seamlessly integrates with your IT assets. Our 24/7 SOC team proactively hunts for the threats to ensure that there are no potential risks left undetected. We also provide a full cycle incident response, vulnerability management, dark web monitoring, security audit, and awareness training services. In short, we provide you with everything you need for your cybersecurity, from the ingredients in the oven to the fully cooked pizza, ready for you to enjoy. Thus, we act as your extended SOC team. We are truly responsible. You're truly responsible security experts. Because you've already invested in the best of the breed security solutions, we integrate them into our platform and utilize our expertise to ensure that your environment is monitored and managed 24/7. This also helps in complying to regulatory compliances because majority of them need a full-fledged 24/7 SOC.
Well, that brings us to the SharkStriker part. So this is one of my favorite because here I'll give you and walk you through who we are exactly, right? So first thing is we are a managed security service vendor. Yes. So here we have all the solutions in place at one particular place wherein you'll get all the services like security services. You talk about MDR, SIM as a service, SOC as a service, security audits, VAPT compliance services. Now, once this has been solved, second thing is advanced security platform. So basically, we have created our own platform which is based on orca philosophy, wherein we consider ourselves as an orca that is a particular well to hunt cyber sharks in the market. I mean, cyber sharks in the market, basically. That's what we call ourselves, right? Now, coming to the skill part of it, wherever we talk about security service skill and expertise comes in picture, we have created our own team comprising of threat researchers, threat hunters, malware analysts, incident responders, SIM expert, endpoint, and network security professionals. And also, I would like to mention that we are globally compliant with ISO 27001 and GDPR, and that also gives us an advantage to have our presence across the globe. Also, I would like to mention that we have data centers in all the major geographies of the world. So that is also making us completely unique across.
Let's not forget about the awards that we've won.
Yeah, right.
Even as a relatively newly launched company, we've made a name for ourselves in the market. And we won so many awards. If you just take 2023, for example, we won our Global InfoSec Awards. We won our CyberTech 100 Awards, MSP Innovation Awards in Europe. So we've done quite well for ourselves.
Right. Starting with, and since now we have won the global recognition, there would be some reasons for the same. So let me discuss a few pointers about why do a partner, or why does a partner usually choose SharkStriker as their preferable service vendor. So first one, and the very important one, is our idea is to power up customers' existing security investments, because any of the customers, they go and they have different existing security solutions from any third party vendor. So our platform, as Prabha mentioned, that we have created our own platform, and this platform is a vendor agnostic one. Irrespective of any third party vendor solution a customer is using, we can easily integrate into our own solution. We can start getting the logs, and we can start the monitoring. So the customer, we never compete with any of the other vendors. We always complement what a partner or the customer is already having. That is one of the things. Coming up to the second one, because we have a holistic approach and we are a one-stop vendor for the different type of services and solutions for all the cybersecurity needs, and our philosophy, or the fundamental of our service offerings is the human expertise plus technology. That's what we follow. That's how we've been delivering our services. Again, we help them achieve the GRC goals. We help customers achieve their GRC goals under our compliance management service. We have a consultative approach. I believe that it is something very important. There are so many vendors. Cybersecurity is a complex market. I mean, see, as a service vendor, or as a security solution reseller, or an MSP, you might be knowing about cybersecurity, but what about the end customer? Probably a customer in the healthcare, or a customer in financial industry, or healthcare, or in education. Security is not their business. So let us take care of security and we want to act as a security advisor for our customers. So we suggest them what do they exactly need and how they can best utilize their existing investments. And that's how we've been acting. And our partners are also working with the same approach. We first understand what the customer's requirement is, and then we go ahead and do our job as a security advisor or a security services vendor. Finally, we have the channel first strategy. We have a core channel partner model in place. We have presence in around 30 plus countries, and we have the wonderful partners already with us, and we are grateful for that. And we empower our partners with all the types of support, technical, sales, pre-sales, whatever is needed. We do that because of our channel partner model.
Well, the golden question after hearing all about SharkStriker is, what exactly are you going to get by partnering up with us?
Right, Fiona, and I would like to give some examples of the real examples from SharkStriker's partners. So we have helped our partners transition from MSPs, resellers, to MSSPs with zero investment. So after partnering with us, our partners have raised their customer acquisition rate by around 33%. I would like to point that out, that our customer retention rate is around 97.67%. We are kind of proud of these numbers.
Well, this really sounds very impressive. So, Palak, this numbers, as you have mentioned, so could you explain how a particular MSP can get there?
So, as an MSP or reseller, Prabha, what happens? Most of the times you're limited to providing certain solutions like security solutions or some IT services, not the whole portfolio. Usually they don't have it. So once you transition to an MSSP or you add these security services in your existing portfolio, it opens a whole world of opportunities with security services. Okay, so let me give an example. So this example is from one of my partner in Saudi Arabia. So their customer acquisition rate earlier was 15%. Before partnering with us, it was 15% because they were a reseller and they were selling certain solutions and selling into that like a niche market, only niche portfolio they have. But after partnering with this, that now that they have this whole service portfolio with them, now they can provide SIM as a service, SOC as a service, compliance management as a service, because Saudi is relatively different market. So they have, because we provide on-premise deployment and we provide different deployment options as well. We have data centers in different geographies. So all these options and all these flexibilities allows our partners to expand and maintain the good customer retention. So now there was an increase in the customer retention from 36 to 45%. That was 15%. So this is just this is how we actually function. And SharkStriker is all about customer obsession. We are obsessed with our whatever customer needs we want to provide them with. So once a customer is onboarded with us, they get the advantage of to offer wide service portfolio. So we become their security advisor, and actually we aim to become their security advisor, and they love us for that and they don't leave us. That's why we have this phenomenal customer retention rate as well.
Seems like our partners are very happy with our services.
Yes, I really appreciate it. I mean, these numbers are really surprising.
Well, now our partners with the extended portfolio, with better customer acquisition and phenomenal retention rate, are able to achieve more than twice the amount of revenue that they were earning previously. And this doesn't end here. Let me talk you through a few of our partner benefits as well. Our partner program comes with exceptional monetary benefits, in addition to the partner discounts and the competitive pricing structure that are going to make you very happy. So our rebate program is something that will keep raising the sales bar for you. We all love us some incentive. So the more you sell, the more you earn. We focus on transforming the relationship between partners and between a partner and his customer from that of a purely transactional one to a long-term emotional connect. We help all of our partners with their sales and marketing programs too. So don't worry, we're with you every step of the way.
Well, that's great. So all this, contribute to better opportunities and more money for the partners. So
Absolutely.
that is basically the basic agenda for SharkStriker is all about. So let me conclude the session. So almost we are at the end of the session by summarizing what we discussed today. So the key takeaways are: we saw how a reseller or MSP can expand their portfolio with zero investment, thus attracting more opportunities. This eventually leads to higher margin and higher ROI, basically. So that's what the takeaways are from my end.
Okay, great, Prabha. I think we did not even realize that we've been speaking for a long time, and we are at the end of the presentation and we are at the end of the session. I hope everyone found these relatable, and I hope everyone was able to relate to the examples that we gave, and we're open to any of the questions. We're opening the Q&A session. We would love to have more discussion on the same. So thanks a lot, everyone, again for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.